Okay, so, all right, so here we go. I actually don't want you to take notes on this.
We already have our don't take it back from us.
Come on, running out of time here, Robert. Okay, so, I don't want you to take notes on this. I just wanna see if there are some trends with things. Now, as a musician and as music theory students, you guys know that sharps and flats exist in scales, right? Did you also know that music is based off of those scales? Like, you could write a piece based off of, I don't know, a G major scale, for example. Do you know how many sharps or flats might be in a G major scale? Like, how many different? All right, gotta vote for 0.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably 0.
Got another vote for 0. I'll tell you what, let's just experiment and let's see. Let's write a G major scale together. So we'll take that. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. I know that the half steps will be between 3 and 4, and 7 and 8. So G to A is that half step or whole step? Whole step. A to a B is a whole step. B to a C, half step or whole step? C to D is whole, D to E is whole. E to F is a half step. It should be a whole step, so I raise it up by 1. 1, and then I'm back. It's an F sharp, by the way. So there's 1 sharp in a G major scale. I'm gonna start notating that over here. So in G major, that's 1, and it's F sharp. It's good, fair enough? Let's go through like a bunch more. We're just gonna write a bunch of major scales, and we'll see if there are any trends that develop as we figure out, how many sharps or flats or whatever they are. Somebody give me another note name.
I don't know. Yeah.
F, great. You don't have to do this, because you already did this in a way. 3, 4, 7, 8. Whole step is good. Next whole step is good. A to a B is a whole step, needs to be a half step, so I have to lower that one. So that's a B flat. B flat to C, whole, 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 and then have to finish it off. All right, so now I need to make a new column. F major is 1 flat. So we'll have like a flat column and a sharp column, and we'll just see. 1 flat and it's B flat. Okay, give me another note name.
C.
How many sharps, how many flats? In C major, do you remember?
All or none, I forget.
Should we do it? 0, there's 0. I can tell you right now. So C major has 0 sharps or flat. Like none. Okay, we got that one out of the way. Give me another note name. Let's keep going. A. All right. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's good. That's not good. That needs to be a whole step. That's a half step, which is great. D and E, whole. That's a half step. That's a half step, needs to be whole. G sharp to an A. So there are 3 sharps. What are they? 1, 2, 3. So A is going to give me 3 sharps. They are, oh look, an F sharp, a C sharp, and a G sharp. There's 3. So there's probably a major scale that has 2 sharps. Agreed? I don't know. It's just like data collection. We'll see if there are any trends that develop. Give me another one.
D.
Did you know what was about to happen here? You had no idea? Okay. D to E, whole step, good. E to F, half step, no good. Should be an F sharp. F sharp to G is a half step, it's great. G to A, whole, whole. Oh shoot, that's a half step, needs to be a whole step. C sharp. D major has 2 sharps. What are they? F sharp and C sharp. Do you see any trends starting to develop?
Yeah.
What are some of the trends?
Up by 1. So like G major has 1, 2 sharps, then 3 sharps, and then maybe B will have 4 or.
Let's find out. Let's just take a look. You know what we call that in science when you're making an educated guess?
Hypothesis.
we are hypothesizing that this one will have 4. That's fine, dude. B to C, oh shoot, that's a whole step, or that's a half step, should be whole. That's a half step, should be a whole step. D sharp to E, that's a half step, so that's good. E to F, that's a whole, or that's a half, needs to be a whole. There, same thing here, same thing here. And now A sharp to B is a whole, is a half step, so we're good. So how many sharps are there? 5. So B has 5. And they are, F sharp is up there again, C, G is up there again, D is up there, and A. Ooh. All right, so we're missing the one that has 4. Let's call out another note name. E.
I was gonna say,
Now that's a half step, that's a whole, that needs to be a whole step, that needs to be a whole step, good. 1, 2, 3, 4, here's the one with 4.
bingo.
They are, once again, all of these are here. Do you see any trends developing now?
Everyone, so it starts with F sharp, then F sharp C, F, and then it adds one every time. It always has the F, but it adds one every time.
So what you're saying is, if a major scale has a sharp in it, it has to be, it absolutely includes an F sharp. Okay. Any other trends?
Just add one after that.
It just adds one after that?
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, like, if a major scale has 2 sharps, it has to be both an F sharp and a C sharp. I don't see any other instances where there are like 2 sharps, but like you're missing one of those 2. Okay, so that is a trend. Another place I'd like you to look are the names going on here. Well, let's see. All right, so I had 5 sharps. Is there a major scale that has 6 sharps? I mean, I think we did all of the white keys, didn't we? C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So we have to start on other note names now. So, I don't know. Huh?
C sharp,
C sharp, let's see how many C sharp has. Do you know what that is already?
yes.
What is it? Yeah, all of them. C sharp major, all of them. That's every single one of them. That has C sharp is 7. And all of those are sharps. Every single one of them. We're just doing some data collection. We're gonna look for trends, that's all. So no one's taking notes on any of this. Okay, so we're missing the one with 6, maybe it'll appear. I think we need to populate this side with some flats. You know, we've done a lot of like sharp scales, but none that really have a whole lot of flats, so let's,
A sharp,
what did you say?
G flat.
G flat, let's just see what G flat is. This one, that needs to be a whole step, that needs to be a whole step, that needs to be a half step. C flat to D is whole, and then D flat, there we go. D flat, whole step, good. How many different flats in this one?
That's it.
No,
Is that your same?
right, these are the same. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 flats, why, that's G flat.
So what G sharp?
And I'm gonna have to like make some room here. G flat, 6. And those flats are the B, E, that. B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, and C flat. Okay, let's keep going. Give me another note name that has the word flat in it. A flat, let's see what A flat is. That needs to be a whole step. That is already a whole step. That should be a half step. Needs to be a whole. that is already a whole, that's a whole step, A flat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, you don't count that because that A flat is already present down here. So how many different flats are there?
Oh,
4. A flat has 4, and once again, B, E, A. We're still missing some, so let's keep going.
E flat.
B flat, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. Who's lost? All we're doing right now is we're writing major scales and then charting how many flats or sharps are in them. So this is my data collection right here, and this is like my experimenting zone, and then we're just gonna look for trends in the data. That's it. So B flat to C is good, C to D is good, oh, that should be a half step. E flat's good, whole step, half. How many different flats are there?
2, 1, 2, 2.
Yeah, 2. So B flat major scale has 2 flats, and it's B flat and E flat. Sorry, I'm quickly running out of room because I have no sense of scale. All right, so we need the one that has 3 flats, 5 flats, and 7 flats.
C flat.
C flat major has what? All 7. I could just, yeah, we could just tell you that right now. So C flat major has all 7. Okay, are there any trends in the data yet?
Yeah,
Like,
the
all
other
of them
one.
are enharmonic.
All of them are enharmonic?
All of them, but like, so. I don't know where I was going with this.
Yeah, I don't either.
They're,
Here, how about we do this? Let's try this. I'll erase the alphabet. Let me start with like C major, because that has no sharps, no flats, right? I'm gonna put the name of the sharp keys on this side, and I'm gonna put the name of the flat keys on that side, but this is like my point of reflection, if you will, if you wanna think back to geometry. So C, G, D, A, E, B. Oh, we were missing one down here, so we have to figure out what that one is. Skip 1, C sharp. Going the other way, we have F, B flat, we're missing one, A flat, and we're missing another one, G flat, C flat. All right, so we still have to find some here. Let's find the one that has 3 flats. I don't know. Like, if you look at this, I wonder if you could like inference it.
B flat.
D flat. Let's try D flat.
Did you say B?
Someone said it.
I didn't.
Oh, I thought you said it. I'm sorry.
No, I said E.
Okay, we'll do E flat next. That's that is a whole step. That should be a half step. That needs to be a whole step. E flat to B flat. That's a whole. Okay, good. How many different flats here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So D flat is 5 flats. D. G. So okay, so at least we got one of them.
F sharp,
Hold on a second. Let me make sure I get this down.
Oh, next I had D flat and then we.
E flat, I thought you said.
Oh, I said E. I got confused. I confused myself.
Okay, so E flat was like the next one that you may have said, but I heard different. So let's try that one. Whole step is good, whole step is good, need to be a half step, that needs to be a whole step, E flat C, that's good, that's good, that's good. How many different flats?
Trace.
Trace, here it is. E flat has 3, B, E, and A.
B.
All right, do you notice any trends? So we have 1 flat, 2 flat, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the flats are good. We're missing one right
Is it
here.
F sharp?
Let's find out.
Because it's like every other.
The only missing one.
Yeah, it's the only missing letter.
That needs to be sharp. That needs to be sharp. That is now a half step. B to C sharp to make it a whole step. C sharp to D sharp to make it a whole step. D sharp to E sharp to make it a whole step. E sharp to F sharp is already half step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's our missing 6. So that was F sharp major 6. There's an F sharp, C sharp, D. All right. so we have now like completed it here. We've got the F sharp, and then E flat. I have a question for you. If you live in Alaska, and you hop in an airplane, what is the fastest way to get to Russia? West or east?
West,
Why west?
'cause it's
Winds.
right there.
But if, when you look at a map, they're not next to each other. So how is that fastest?
Because
Because it's a circle.
'Cause the earth is
It's
round,
round.
despite what some flat earthers might say. Okay,
they-
I want you to notice, here's a trend in the data. Maybe I could have laid this out just a little bit neater. Look at the key, the scale, the major scale that has 7 sharps.
I get it.
I don't know. Or maybe,
Actually, no, I should say it this way. Look at the key that has 6 flats. I said, you don't know what that is yet. Look at the major scale that has 6 flats, then look at the major scale that has 6 sharps. What do you notice about F sharp and G flat?
They're enharmonic.
They are n-harmonic to each other.
Didn't I say that?
You did say that.
You didn't know what
You-
I was talking about?
So you, wait, you noticed it all the way back then?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's great.
okay.
So what if we made this round? You know, like, yeah. Well, first of all, hold on, before I do that, do you notice any trends in this part of it?
It flips, so like,
A,
it's CFB, and then if you go from the middle and go into the flats, it's CFB, and if you go from the right side, it's CFB. Like, at the end, I mean, of
Here?
CFB, yeah. So they're like the same.
Oh, that's true, I never noticed that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you look here, CGD is also CGD here, it's just in
Mhm.
flats. That's really interesting, I never noticed that before. What we just did right here, and this is like all raw, just absolutely raw data. So we have to like have a way to organize it, but like what you did, just by like writing all this out with me, is you discovered like a principle that exists in music. I can't explain why it's like this. There probably is a reason, and if I think about it for like 30 solid minutes, I'll probably figure it out. If I just like read somebody smart, I don't have to figure it out, I just read them. So let's do this. There are, I don't know, and then if you look here, so F sharp is enharmonic to G flat, B is enharmonic to C flat, C sharp is enharmonic to D. So there is like some overlap there. So I wonder if we just do this. Let's like make a circle. And just like the earth is round, this pattern is kind of round too. We just laid it out in a 2-dimensional surface. So like instead of making it linear, we'll make it circular. And because there are 12 individual keys on the keyboard, it's just like a clock that has like 12 positions. So I'm gonna make those 12 positions too, and we'll see if there's anything else interesting in the data. And from here, I'll put C as like my top point, no sharps, no flats. G. I'm moving forward, so I'm going clockwise. And A, B, F sharp. Now we'll move backwards. F, B flat, E flat, A flat major scale, D flat major scale. That would be F sharp and G flat. I have to keep going though, right? I probably should have done that. So after B, F sharp, I mean C sharp kind of has 13, and then that has that. Notice how these are enharmonic right here, so that's why I can do that. T flat, C sharp, B and C flat, those are, so I have like 3 kind of overlapping here, even though they have, these 2 pair have different number of flat and sharps. Okay. 1 sharp. 2 sharps. Oh, I missed one, I'm sorry about that. E. No. What the heck did I do here? 3 sharps. E has 4 sharp, 5 sharp, 6 sharp. Let's go the other way. 1 flat, 2 flat, 3, 4, 5. C sharp had 7 sharps, by the way. 6 flat, 7 flat. You guys see a pattern yet?
No, I'm very confused.
Very confused.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like, I very quickly did this because I know what the end product is. You can check me on this. I transferred all of this data onto here,
I think I know what you mean.
okay? With the exception of like, well, what are the sharp names, what are the flat names? It's the only thing that I didn't do. But as somebody pointed out, like if there are, I don't know, if I have a major scale that has 5 sharps, F sharp has to be in it, right? Look, I mean, we did it all, right?
I have an idea, kind of question. Is C, so C has 7.
Which one, C flat or C sharp?
The top one.
No sharps, no flats.
No sharps, no flats. So
Zero.
is it going 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever?
I'm calling this the 12 o'clock position.
Okay.
I'm not calling it any, I don't wanna call it 12 o'clock, you know, this is 0 or this is
Does
1.
it just go
This
all
is just
the way
like,
around in order? So like G has what, 1? Like 1?
G has 1 sharp, yeah.
So all the way around increases by 1?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, that's it.
but here, look at the letter names next. And I'll even put like the regular alphabet up here. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. You're right, it's the music alphabet. Okay, if I start on C, I'll call C 1 and I'll just count till I get to G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It took me 5 if I count C as like number 1. And we did, because C is like scale degree 1, right? So we've always counted like the very first pitch in a scale as 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many did you get from G to D? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many did you get from D to A? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many did you get from A to E? 1, 2. This is called the circle of fifths. This is like a naturally occurring phenomena in music. And all we did to, and this has existed for a long, long time, all right? All we did to get here was like list some of the data and launch us into like our next sort of unit, which is called key signatures. So here's why this would be useful. You guys want me to keep this here? This is kind of like, I kind of transferred this over to here.
No, I think.
But I'm gonna keep those down there. Somebody give me a, I don't know, let's come up with a song.
Like a song? Or-
Like, I don't know, how about, throw out some note names for me.
B.
F sharp.
Alright, so we're gonna do this in B. B, F sharp,
C flat.
nah, that's not gonna work. How about, what do we do, Mary Had a Little Lamb? Alright, let's just do that. Mary had a little, I'm not really worried about rhythm right now, I'm only worried about pitch. Alright, if I'm gonna play that on the piano, that might sound like this. And if you know anything about little kids, that actually might be a comfortable range for little kids. But let's say for a moment that you had grown men in your chorus. I don't know, sophomores, juniors, seniors. Like, Mary had a... Like, might be a little bit high for them. So, like, we want to, like, make that a little bit lower. And maybe start on, I don't know, this note. Maybe this note would be more comfortable for our singers. So that would be... Scale degree 3. So I actually started on this note down here. I'll transfer to bass clef, because it'll be easier to read. Mary had a little... There's a G sharp I started on. sharps. Da, 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 da. So how many different sharps are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. G, F, G. Da, 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 dum. Yeah. Yeah. There are 3 different sharps in there, but like I guess I could continue. I could make the song more interesting. Mary had a little lamb. Mary had a B G sharp. Like if I want to maybe add some harmony to it, there's a D sharp. Let's see, I'm still missing one. F sharp, G, serious C sharp. Add a little lamb, little. How about this one, lamb? Ooh, made it jazzy. Yes, sir.
I have a really bad headache.
Yes, go. You don't look at that. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb. There are now 4 different sharps in there. And instead of like writing them all out, by the way, there's an F sharp, a C sharp, G sharp, and a D sharp in there. If I just did this. What if I just put like every sharp there at the beginning? And now, as I sing my song, instead of like, there's a G, I'll just like, okay, but because there's a G sharp at the beginning, I'll just play every G natural as a G sharp. Right? Maybe that'll like save my hand. Mary had there's a B sharp. Little lamb, there's another one. Little lamb, there's my C sharp lamb. Like, doesn't that save my hand?
A lot.
Yeah.
By the way-
Write the notes.
Here it is.
Oh, wow.
4 sharps, right? And it's just easier to like write it at the beginning. Now remember that if one of those that we listed out had 1 sharp, what would it have to include?
F.
F sharp was right. Remember, we listed them all out. Every single one of them, if it had a sharp, it had to have an F sharp. Look,
Oh.
right?
Okay.
If it had a C, or I'm sorry, shoot, if it had at least 2 sharps, what 2 did it absolutely have to include?
F sharp and C sharp.
Also notice for a moment, okay, so like here are the number, we really would call them like the order of sharps. F, C, G, D, A, E, B. Look at its counterpoint.
B, E, A. Oh, it's the
No, look.
opposite.
Look,
It's the opposite. So
It's
F,
the
C,
opposite.
G, yeah.
so the order of sharps, F, C, G, D, A, E, B, we'll call it. The order of flats is the same thing but backward. Like reflected even. Also look at this. Here, we move this way. Let's like count backward now and see if like we still get fifths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a B, but it's a B flat because we already have a B down here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. E, but it's E flat because we already had an E over here. This is like, this is a scientific. I'm gonna say scientific. Maybe mathematical might be the better way to describe it. But this is like a mathematical representation of something that exists in musical nature. Okay, you're not going off into the woods and finding the circle of fifth. But like if you sit in a room and think about it long enough, like eventually you come up with this. And musicians find this very, very useful. By the way, we didn't do the minors. Do you remember the minor key for no sharps, no flats?
A.
The minor, the minor, natural minor scale, everything's natural for this purpose. The natural minor scale with no sharps, no flats.
A.
A minor. Maybe we'll call that the inside of the circle. Do you remember which natural minor key had only 1 sharp?
G.
E is correct. It's a great memory. Do you remember which natural minor scale only had 2 sharps?
Take a stab and say F.
No.
G.
Nope.
It's going up by
Then
4. maybe
Well,
C.
no.
B.
Ready? If A is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we got E.
Is it A?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh,
B.
B. Oh, like the same concept applies, doesn't it? Like for the minors as well. So E natural minor and G major have one sharp in it. And if it has one sharp, what does it have to be?
F.
Wouldn't this have been easier for your scales if you had known this? I purposely kept this from your knowledge so that we could drill whole steps, half steps. If you needed to write a song in the key of B natural minor, which sharps might you include?
Probably, F, C, and G.
No, only two.
Oh, it's only two,
F and C. And like these two keys, by the way, I should say these two scales, right? E and G, B and D, and like you could run the gamut, this would be F sharp, natural minor. Like, they're very closely related because they share the same DNA, which are the sharps and the flats. So they're relative keys, they're relative scales. Go ahead.
So if I was writing the scale, the B scale, so I'd write it B minor, right?
Yes.
I just write it out, all the notes, and then I could look and be like, okay, I need F and C, so I just mark those
Boom.
sharp and leave the rest.
Let's say on a quiz one day, write this in natural minor. You could go through the whole steps and half steps, or like, all right, circle of fifths, two sharps. What do they have to be? F and C. Here's a C sharp. Here's a C. Here's an F.
Oh, that's
Now, like,
cheating.
now, I mean, I could go through this. I'm like, all right, is that a half step there? Does scale agree to? Like, I could do that, but this is a cheat code. The circle of fifths is a cheat code to everything that we will do throughout the year. Beyond that, like you're gonna find this useful for all kinds of things. Musicians have found this useful for all kinds of different applications too. I don't know how far in depth like I really want to go anymore. I just wonder if we could come up with a sweet acronym for the order of sharps. F C D A E B. Come up with a sweet acronym. You're probably not going to beat mine. 'Cause it's not mine. You ready to hear mine?
Sure,
Fat cats get down at every bar.
that's way better than
I didn't come up with that, so that's why it's good. Fat cats get down at every bar.
Beach.
For order of flats, easy. Somebody already mentioned this. Bead, greatest common factor. Do you know what the greatest common factor is?
Yeah, GCS.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's a math term.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't pretend to know. I just know that it exists and that like some kids relate to it pretty easily. Bead, greatest common factor. Hey, by the way, if you remember that fat cats get down at every bar, you also know that it's reversed here.
Oh, yes.
So you will always know the order of sharps and the order of flats, which is handy. So tomorrow, juniors are on retreat. So we're not going to continue this. I'm not going to put a video on the interwebs for you. If you want to review any of this is not going to be the most entertaining like YouTube video to watch, but I still ask you please comment, like, and subscribe for the YouTube algorithm. But if you want to see those trends starting to form into this, like if you want to watch that happen for yourself, like you can, feel free to like watch that YouTube video as much as you want. I knew this was going to happen the whole time, so it wasn't an experiment. But you know what's great, what's really interesting about this is like how it just, you can like stumble into it. Like this just exists, and because, well, no, I won't get too much into detail. This is like kind of a good place to stop. So this is where we're gonna stop for today. Thanks for hanging with me. This was like a heavy one. There's a lot of just stick with me, but you stuck with me, so thank you.